So without further ado, let's bring out the incredible Solana.
Like after therapy, I probably won't be able to like make music anymore.
Really?
I never wanted to sing.
I matter. I'm okay. I'm gonna be all right.
And he
The dirty?
threw the 100 and it hit me in my eye.
Just out your face while you're serving them a drink?
Yes.
Gotcha.
It's kind of just like a life concept. Like I grapple with control in all facets of my life, from my entire life, from weight, death, family, love, etc. But I don't know. I like that they just handle the world. Like they just in it. They're moving in it. They're just being. Like they're not trying to do anything. It's very beautiful. I think if I just follow the path that I'm on, I don't know, I think I'll end up where I'm supposed to be.
Now 5-time Grammy Award nominee.
Oh, it's a great feeling. You know what I mean? It's full circle moment too. And she kicked butt.
She really does.
When everybody counted us out.
Her album SOS has spent 10 weeks at #1 on the Billboard Top 200.
And the Grammy goes to SOS Sza.
Thank you to Sam and Keith, and to Melissa, and to Punch, to Amber, to my entire team, to Rob.
This is about the song that doesn't just make you want to sing, it makes you want to sing.
Do whatever, make it feel good. Hesitate, make it feel good for the meantime. Drag it down for the longest. Waiting on you for the longest. I don't know, it's the hold up. Thinking you can never show up. Do whatever just to feel good. Leftover, make it feel good. I might be thirsty for you. How can you blame me? I might be thirsty for you. How can you blame me? I might bless your cause for you.
Solana Emaniro was born on 8 November 1989 in St. Louis, Missouri. Her family later reallocated from Mid-East to the East Coast to support her father's career. Sza's mother, Audrey, is a Christian and her father, Abdul, is a Muslim. Despite their different faith, they built a home filled with love and respect.
And then in Jersey, my daddy worked for CNN, and when they merged like with Time Warner, he moved us all to
I'm Bernard Shaw.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Going to that office was like, but he used to edit South Park in Spanish, which was very exciting. So
Wow.
I used to go.
Her father joined church celebration while her mother dressed for Jonas and walked him into the mosque. Teaching Solana early on that love can bridge even the deepest difference. Ra attended both Sunday school and Muslim school, growing up with the teaching of both faiths. An interview with the Muslim girl, she shared that her parents had embraced each other's beliefs, saying their faith had integrated. A quiet example of love and mutual respect that shared by her early worldwide.
I read that in your dad is he's Muslim. Yes. Your mom too?
No, she's Christian.
So your mom, that's very interesting. How was that in the house? So did you do you did
so respectful, but
so you went to church? You went
every other Sunday?
And then also to the mosque?
Yeah, I went to Juma and then with my dad. So I would alternate. So even on some Sundays, I would go with my dad to the mosque as well. So they would have like a gathering and it would be like a thing. And then I would go with my mom and she taught Sunday school. And then my mom would decide like, if it's Christmas, then like I go and my mom would come and wear a hijab and come during Eid and like during Ramadan with my dad and come to Juma and sit with me like in the women's section. Like it was very amicable, like, and super peaceful, very inspiring. All the weird discrimination or like separatism in that religion I experienced outside of my household.
Her parent had a control over her life and had a strict family environment.
Strict level of parenting caused you to learn and even push against the strictness in some ways, right?
Yes.
Because of the strict environment and the pressure she faced, pursuing activities like gymnastics, Sza felt disconnected from her true path. none of it pointed to the artist she would one day become. She later attended Columbia High School, where she joined the gymnastics, cheerleading, and the dance team, becoming the part of school's special dance company.
I never wanted to sing. It just kind of, I was a gymnast for a really long time and a dancer for a long time, and
From Jersey.
in St. Louis originally.
You were, correct me if I'm wrong, I read this, you were 5th in the nation once in like gymnastics or some shit like this?
That's high school. So that's
so like 5th in the nation, like you were the 5th best in the nation?
Out of high school, so that's not like,
but still
out of all high school students.
yeah, but like in my bracket, but I still, in track, I ran track too. There were way iller girls than me in track and in every sport. In gymnastics, I could have been way better. I could have been, I don't know, I could have tried.
I honestly think that it's like only fair to say this. They have worked their way up from nothing and become so successful. Even with their tough background, they made sure that she and her sibling had a good and privileged life. At home, both religions coexisted peacefully, but outside, especially in school, they had to deal with a lot of issues, like after 9/11. She also mentioned this thing in her song Omega. After graduating in 2008, Ra enrolled in 3 different colleges before settling in Delaware State University to study at marine biology. Somewhere along the way, she realized that she had stepped into the wrong shoes. It wasn't where she truly belonged.
What do your parents think of you pursuing music? I didn't know. At first, they were like, you can do this on your own time, because they were paying for school, which was a big deal. So in their eyes, I kind of just pissed it all way to be a musician. But after they came to the first and second show, they were like, okay, I guess you really want to do this. They said that I didn't care if I wasn't eating or sleeping or whatever.
So, she dropped out in her final semester. To focus on her music career, she worked various jobs to support herself. At this point, she stopped doing gymnastics, which began to affect her weight and body image. She often drank Malibu and smoked marijuana and overslept daily. She lied about her age to get bartending job, and occasionally she danced at various strip clubs in New Jersey and New York City. But in bartending then, she experienced something really bad.
But the one time I knew it was not for me is when I got hit in the eye with $100.
Wait, what?
Yeah, this man had $100.
Yeah.
His name was Supreme.
Supreme, yeah.
And he's always a drug dealer named Supreme.
Yeah, there always is.
Right. So he rolled up 100.
Was this in New York or New Jersey? New Jersey.
This is Jersey.
Okay.
And he
the dirty
threw the 100 and it hit me in my eye.
Just out your face while you're serving them a drink?
Yes, while I'm serving drinks in the mix
crazy.
of the club and everything's
That's
going crazy.
up.
Like imagine whatever Wayne song is popping at the time and it's going ham.
Yeah.
And I'm just mixing and everybody's going crazy throwing money. He throws $100 in my eye and I'm mad.
Was it one bill?
No, 100.
It was just 100 ones with the band on it.
Yeah, not even his hand kept it together in the other hand.
What
he
a
went
piece
like
of
this.
shit.
It was OD, and I was like, what the fuck? And I started going ham, and he was like, you should be grateful. And that's when I knew, like, I'm probably in the wrong place.
Now she's dropped out and quit the whole gymnastic career, and the bartending then didn't go in her favor. Now, music is the only thing she wanted to focus on. And obviously, she couldn't pursue that kind of stuff at home in front of her parents. So, she decided to move in with her boyfriend. When she formed the stage name Sza, Ra was inspired by the Nation of Islam and a black nationalist religious movement. She took a cue from the Supreme alphabets, taking influence from the rapper Raza and Gaza of Wu-Tang Clan. The last 2 letters in her name stand for Zigzag and Allah, while the first letter S can mean either savior and subversion. Sza's music is shaped by the diverse influence like Ella Fitzgerald, Lauryn Hill, Ashanti, and Bog, inspired by her family love for jazz, R&B, and hip-hop. She also admires icons like Beyoncé and Rihanna. Sza often blends pop culture into her work, referencing film and TV in her song titles and lyrics. Sza's boyfriend at the time, he was a creative director of 10 Deep, a streetwear band, At the time, these artists were signed to TDE. Kendrick Lamar, Schoolboy Q, Absol, J-Rock, who were already making waves in hip-hop world. In 2011, SZA met the members of Top Dog Entertainment, TDE, during CMJ New Music Report in 2011 at Gramercy Theatre, when her boyfriend clothing company Ten Deep sponsored a show in which Kendrick Lamar was performing. SZA and her boyfriend, who was 8 years older than her, would deliver the clothes to TDE team.
I met them like 2.5 years ago at Kendrick's first show at Gramercy Theatre for CMG. At the time, Ten Deep was sponsoring the show and I was working with Ten Deep. Afterwards, I was like, I can bring you guys some merch to where you're staying. Let me know your sizes. I get everybody's sizes and brought enough merch to clothe a small village. It was insane.
SZA's early music was shared with TDE president Terence Punch Henderson, who was impressed by the quality of the material.
I brought my homegirl Ashley with me because I was afraid to go by myself. She was listening to some music I did with my brother and she's jamming out with her headphones all loud. TD's president Punch was like, "What are you listening to?" She was like, "You don't know? This is her."
The story with SZA is, when I met her, she was actually helping out with merch at a show we did with Kendrick. Ironically, her friend was listening to something she just recorded in the earphones, and I asked her what it was. She was like, "It's her, she sing." And like her voice was so distinctive.
After giving his number, he simply said, "Just stay in touch with me while you are making music," a casual gesture that will later change the course of her life. SZA's early music was recorded with friends and neighbors, with many of the beats stolen from the internet. On October 9, 2012, she released her extended play, See SZA Run. The extended play was met with positive reviews upon its release. The Guardian, a respected British daily newspaper, praised its lyrical depth and production, drawing comparison to artists like Drake and The Weeknd. To this date you're watching this video, this mixtape is not available on Spotify because it was never officially released and it was made by one of SZA's friends, and many of the beats were pulled from the internet. See SZA Run is a SZA debut mixtape, blending in alternative R&B, dreamy, lo-fi and experimental vibes like moody, space and raw, less polished than her later work, but rich, emotional and atmosphere. After listening to it, I personally felt like I was floating through in someone's thought, and it's perfect for the late night listening. It's not for everyone, but if you are into chill or artsy music with a unique voice, it's definitely worth checking out, especially the country song. Personally, I really vibe with this kind of music. She made this way back in her early days without even having proper resources.
There's either two ways I write. I either write the words first, where I write as if I'm sending my last text message to whoever, and it's like, if I had one more opportunity to tell this person to kiss my ass, how would I do it? And then there's another way that I write when it's like, where it's like, okay, if I was just flowing and I heard this beat and it wasn't me, what would I do?
Whatever the little amounts SZA earned from bartending, she invested straight in second EP, using it to pay for the studio time.
Yeah, I bartended for like, every time I got a regular job, in between and I failed at my regular job or got fired, I would just go back to the strip club.
Damn.
And make mad bread. And honestly, that shit paid for my studio time more than anything.
Wow.
Like, because I had the time to work in the studio, even though I was putting like 14-hour shifts, because, you know, daytime studio.
Yeah.
I mean, daytime strip club. Then you transition to nighttime. And if you work double shifts, you working the whole day.
Right,
So you get there at 10 a.m. and you leave at like 5.
But you were there like at like the cusp of her kind of hitting mainstream just a little bit.
We did the first project that got her signed to Punch, TDE. And then, bro.
So what did you do on that first project specifically?
Engineered and, you know, just engineered, mixed and recording. And yeah, man, the whole thing was in my mom's basement in Jersey.
That's crazy.
So it came together. It was like, she lives in Jersey, not too far from my parents' stay. So once we found out that it was that easy and that close, she was like working at a strip club or something at the time. And,
Whoa,
like,
whoa, you gotta bring that shit back. SZA was working at a strip club?
She had her girl.
Oh, I know she wasn't a stripper. She definitely wasn't a stripper. I completely believe that.
She was working at a strip club? More of like a local strip club type of thing. And she would come and like pay me like $200 in ones. And I remember it was around Hurricane Sandy.
What were you doing to get fired so much? The last time I was bartending and I had a show, I asked to take Saturday off. And the manager was like, no, there's a tons of girls that would love to replace you. I had made up some excuses, but I'm the worst liar. I said I had to stay home to babysit my sister, and he goes, I don't give a fuck about your family. I was like, wow, that's harsh.
On April 10, 2013, SZA self-released her second EP. S. The EP well received. Consequences of Sound described it as dreamy and rapped. Nothing. How it managed to exude both confidence and fragility to promote the project. SZA released a music video for its lead single, Ice Moon. SZA's SEP 2013 showcased her early experimental sounds, blending all R&B, chill wave, neo soul, and the dreamy vocals and lo-fi trippy productions. Tracks like Ice Moon, Castles, and Aftermath explore love, heartbreak, self-reflection through cosmic and abstract lyrics. Unlike her later polished work, S feels raw, intimate, and artsy, an underground glimpse into the genre's blending style that would define her. SZA definitely touched glitter rap, or what some call sparkly rap, especially in her early work, including the parts of SEP. Glitter rap is basically the blend of trap influence and drum, dreamy synths and the ambience texture, soft, ethereal, and vocals. In the SEPs, tracks like Ice Moon and Castle have the glitter trap feel, airy production with a trap style, percussion underneath, and creating hazy and floating vibe. It is not hard trap like rap music, but softer, emotional, and spacey version. In 2013, she moved to Los Angeles to pursue her music career. She stayed in touch with Punch from TDE. As her early EP gained attention, the label officially signed her on July 14, 2013, making her the first female artist on their roster. Honestly, in my view, it was a really clever move. Just for information, TDE is the same label that launched Kendrick Lamar. And I mean, I don't have to explain what Kendrick is doing now. Back then, TDE was still an independent label with just few signed artists. But the thing is, they believe in SZA from very start. The existing artists were like the big brothers to her.
How hard has that been, being signed to a label with someone like Kendrick and Schoolboy and mostly a boys club
It's
like
not.
those guys?
It's
I'm just kidding.
It's not. It's not at all. Like, they treat me amazing. They're hella supportive. I learn a lot. They're not scared of shit, so they remind me not to be scared of shit. They back me in everything I do. Like, they think I'm talented. They reinforce me when I doubt myself. It's been amazing. It's like a very supportive male support group.
Yeah,
like a circle.
well, you really do. You do get the love. It does seem like you have the little sister like love of everyone. Like they all want to see you win and prop you up. That's what it always seems like to me.
Yeah, no, it is true. It is true. Especially, I don't know. Like, I'm very grateful because sometimes I get really like nervous and I wonder, like, do we love each other? Are we family?
They helped her out, showed her the ropes, and never expected anything in return. It was a rare kind of a support, and it meant everything and early in her career.
Honestly, they're just the craziest. It's crazy. But, you know, on an honest level, seeing them every day and, like, recording with them or, like, seeing them at the house and just, like, being human beings but watching them create from being regular people, it's nuts. Because I think what everybody doesn't get to see is the process. Like, they don't get to see people just walking around, like, and they're regular, like, just coming by or just chopping it up at the studio, eating chicken or whatever, you know, or ordering sushi. But I think, I don't know, it's very surreal. I usually don't realize it until we're at like a show where everybody's out, and then it's just like, oh yeah, I forgot. Like this is like a whole thing. Like this is more than just a family thing, but it feels like family. Like I don't know. Like the president of TD is here, Punch is here, and he I don't know. He's casual Jack. He's just like whatever. We're just out. So I don't know that it's important, but it's not what overwhelms my mind because it's more family than anything.
Around this time, TD had also signed another new artist, Isha Rashid. Like Sza, he was just stepping into the spotlight. Together, they became the fresh faces of the label Next Generation. Sza and Isa Rashad joined TD around the same time, sharing the same energy and creative vibes. Their connection led to a multiple collaboration in early on, including Isa's debut EP, Salvia Damo.
Now you also have SZA on a lot of these songs on here. So explain the connection with you and SZA. I know she's a new TD artist signee as well. Yeah. But did you guys know each other beforehand, or was it a?
No, me and SZA met probably I think the week after I moved back out there. When I moved to like LA, I met her. I think I was meeting her the day she was getting signed. I think I was meeting her that day. We didn't really get along too well the first couple of days.
Why?
Why not?
She's a sweet girl.
Yeah, we met new people. It's not, you meeting two new people. And it's just like, who you.
And you guys are both new.
Yeah, we both new.
Competition.
We both got signed. We both thinking that we here for a purpose. You know what I'm saying? You feel like you got a little bit of attention on yourself. So we ain't really. But we vibed out. And we vibed out. It was super tight. Like,
you hit?
My favorite singer.
Oh, shut up.
No.
You ain't hit?
That's my sister, man.
That's what they all say.
That's what they all say.
Yeah.
You gotta
She's
say
vegan. I don't really like
That's my
vegan
sister
girls.
who I met a few months ago.
Oh, yeah, man.
I don't really do that.
Yeah, man. You ever smelled the vegan vagina?
A
what?
Never.
Too much asparagus when they pee? Lord
much
have mercy.
asparagus?
Yes, sir.
She was also featured on another label-made Schoolboy Q debut album, Oxymoron. Kendrick even poked a little fun at her in one of his music videos. But Sza knew that she had a potential. She just need to channelize it in the right direction.
For sure. I don't want to just fit in. I want to kind of like add something to this table. I want to bring something to the table, and I want to like really, really earn my keep. And that was like my only issue, like the scramble to like prove to other people that you deserved to be here.
Other artists at TD genuinely support her, giving her the space and guidance she needed to grow and fully express her artistry. On April 8, she released her third studio EP, Z, led by single Billon, featuring King of the Rap, Kendrick Lamar. Which is accompanied by the music video directed by Amplus Films. Z marks Sza's chart debut in the UK and reaching 32 on the R&B chart for the week ending on April 19 in the USA. The EP debuted on number 39 on the US Billboard 200 and selling 6,918 copies in the first week, and peaked at number 9 on the Billboard Top R&B and Hip Hop Album charts. This mixtape is available on Spotify, and since TD was involved in its production, they made sure it was ready for the streaming platform. In the following month, Sza and the internet supported Jenna IQ enter the Void Tour. Jenna IQ is an American R&B singer and rapper. IQ embarked on a musical career in 2002 and backing vocalist and music video performer for R&B group B2K. Performing in front of thousands, it's already tough, but for Sza, it was even more harder, knowing she was sharing the stage with the prettiest girl in the game.
Okay, bus. And so I started just like the way that I would like perform live. Also, I never performed live before, so I was opening up for Janae Go. It was a whole different vibe. My anxiety was so crazy because I'm like, damn, first off, I'm like 198 pounds, I'm 200 pounds. I'm dressing different, I'm saying different things. Janae is like, you know, you know, tiny, fairy, beautiful goddess energy. And I'm like, don't nobody want to fucking see me. They don't know my music. And the anxiety made me crack open a new part of myself that had nothing to do with what I look like, nothing to do with like perception. It was just like a different stage presence, like a different version of me. And I wasn't singing in falsetto. I wasn't hiding behind like plugins and shit and reverb and like editing and shit. I was just like, sometimes just yelling, but I had to do that to find myself. So then I fast forward and I'm like, oh shit, I want my music to feel like how I feel when I'm on stage. Like I want it to reflect me for real. So I'm like, okay, let me get into that vibe. Let me project my voice. Let me, what makes me feel like that? What makes me feel like my back is against the wall and the pressure? And strangely enough, the pressure of niggas counting me out gave me the same pressure of like being on stage in front of thousands of people who didn't know me. Like when you had to open up for like one of the prettiest girls in the game, like it was stressful.
Jana used to help Sza build stage confidence, shaped her identity, and realize the power of being real. All of which fueled the raw emotional magic of Control.
Oh, I saw you on that tour, and you fucking snapped. Like the place was going crazy, and I was like, and I remember I was like, yo, she became on that tour, on the Janae tour, you became like a performer, and that
was the first time I ever even sang with a band. So like I never even heard my music that loud before, so I didn't know I had to sing over the music and like really project. And then I had this weird fear where I was like, I know niggas don't know me. I know they're probably like, I don't really care, so don't play yourself. Like, just go off. Like, you don't really have anything to lose. You don't have, I don't know, you could wild out and embarrass yourself if you wanted to, but you might as well just try as hard as you can. So it was weird. There was a lot of conversion on that tour, and it like taught me a lot.
While working on her fourth EP, A, which would later evolve into her debut album, Sza began writing for other major artists, including Nicki Minaj and Beyonce, on Feeling Myself and Travis Scott. Okay, alright. Sza co-wrote Consideration for Rihanna's 2016 album and Day alongside Rihanna and Tyron Donaldson. She didn't just write on the track, she was also featured, marking a major moment in her early career.
And
traveling.
You also did really cool things, like wrote for Rihanna and sang.
Yeah, for sure.
Like there was some. You worked
I came
with some
out the
big
cave.
people. Exactly.
I
Rihanna
definitely came out the
something.
cave.
She was like, oh, I could do that.
No.
Well, how
not
did
even.
that happen?
I was in the cave then too.
Did she reach out to you?
Yeah. I don't know. She just kind of like believed in me because she called me a few times, and I like it never really turned into anything. Because the first time she called me, I was just like, I have no idea what I'm doing here. I have no idea. Like, I have nothing for her. 6 months later, like she called me back again, and I was in a different place, and I still was like, I don't know why I'm here. I have nothing for you. And then I don't know, like something in between there, like I made Consideration and a whole bunch of and Drew Barrymore, like in that little pocket of time, and like 3 other songs. I went to Michigan with my friends, and like we came back. We went to Michigan for the first time, which is like where we record all our music that we care about, like Love Galore and Broken Clocks, etc. And I don't know, I felt very relaxed when I came back and like kind of proud. So I played Consideration, being like, I don't have anything else to offer because again, I don't know why you called me, but
but I have this.
Right, I know. and she liked it, and I was really surprised. I feel like I'm always surprised. I'm always like, really? But I'm trying not to act too surprised because I don't want people to be like, wait, you don't know. Like, I don't want people to know that I don't know. Right. But I'm also like, right, of course. Like, of course I know.
Yeah. Around this time, she also collaborated with several label mates on the various projects, including Absol on Lonely Soul and The Law, Schoolboy Q on The Never Change, and the Isha Ishad Stuck in the Mud.
I be like, bitch, ain't none of shit when I be talking. And I get to get on that nigga. I give a fuck about you. You want some Barcelona? You wanna see the tower? I wanna be the brother. You I'm baptized in that chest time. When they cool, burning soup, jumping in my head. And everybody home. And everybody home. rappers, so we can spit on it, everybody know. Keep it on the floor, long form with that quick stance. Top dog, do your bitch back. With a big bag. My nigga holler at you with that. And I got 20 on this kickback. But I'm looking like, oh shit. With 2 cents on the inside.
She appeared on 2 tracks from Kendrick Lamar, To Pimp a Butterfly 2015, as a background vocalist and as well as feature on 2016 song Untitled 04. After signing contract with RCA Records in April 2017, SZA released her debut studio album, Control, on June 9, 2017.
Okay.
You were running from someone feathers. You broke your by the waves among the sea. And that you died, then that you wash away. Watch you swim as one as you fly. Pretty little bird, pretty little bird. You were the wind of
But it was too late. The album was originally scheduled for 2015, but its release kept getting delayed due to creative disagreement between SZA and TDE. Struggling with perfection and track selection, she grew frustrated with the whole process.
How many years since your first project?
4, 3.5.
3.5 years. And why so long in between?
I have no idea.
SZA tweets, I actually quit, says TD's President Can Drop album if he ever feels like it. Recently, Complex caught up with SZA to discuss what exactly she meant and offer some clarification about what her future may look like. I'll probably just do something different, something visual, probably film. She said, I'm really frustrated and I'm kind of over it. I have a lot of anxiety and there's a lot going on in my life.
I was concerned for a minute when you put out that tweet last year about quitting. I didn't want you to quit. And what were you going through at that time?
I had just buried somebody like that day. I like had literally just buried somebody and like witnessed them like pass, and it was really weird. And I'd never seen anybody pass before in person. And then it was just kind of like, and like this was like a very sudden, like young kind of person. So then I was just in a bad mood, and I was already arguing with Punch and like asking him a bunch of questions, and he was being very vague. And there's nothing that drives me more crazy than vague answers. So I was like, wow, bet. And I just wilded out. And the rest is tweet history.
Tweet. How did you resolve it?
I just slept on it. And honestly, like, I think, hey, the Riz is on right now. I feel like Top and everybody knew that I was just going through some human shit. They talked to me on the phone. Dad talked to me on the phone, and like they just listened. It was chill.
It was chill. So
yeah, it never was. We never even had to like have a meeting about it or start over. Like it was just like, okay.
It's a real family then environment. They're big brothers.
So now, after all this shit, finally, on June 9, 2017, she released her debut album, Control.
This album, Control, Control, what is that? What does that mean? Because I know Janet had that song, Control.
She did. Yeah. I think it was funny. I was like, should I have a title track on this album, like, or something? But it was more. It's conceptual. It's about the fact that it's spelled like a computer key. So like you think of the analog process of the nostalgia of a PC, like of dusty things, of the things when those things were relevant. I was very young and going through a lot of thoughts and growing, and like, you know, when AOL and AIM first came out. And I think Control has always been something I've been struggling with. Like I played sports, I was a gymnast forever, and I was a dancer, and school was definitely like I learn differently. So it's like I'm a visual learner. So, and I don't necessarily, if I'm not interested, I cannot learn. So I would go to school and get fire grades on things that I was into, and then the things that I wasn't, it would just be like, hey, I'm bored. And I just wouldn't do anything, like literally.
SZA's Control tells the story of a young woman and navigate the messy emotional trends on her 20s, grappling with love, insecurity, identity, and the illusion of control. The album opens with the heartbreaks and betrayal in Supermodel, where she lashes out in her vulnerabilities. As the story unfolds, she explores lust and confusion in Love Killer, questions the value placed on the sex in the doves in the wind, and express deep insecurity in Drew Barrymore. Throughout the tracks like Weekend and Garden, she challenged traditional relationship norms while quietly craving acceptance. By the time we reach Normal Girl and 20-something, Sza confronts her fear for not being enough or having it all figured out. But instead of fixing it, she learns to let go. Control is coming of age, a tale where the lesson isn't about the mastering life, but learning to live honestly with its chaos.
That's what this album is like about. It's me trying to find that balance between who I am when I'm calculated and thinking and relaxed and have the opportunity to compartmentalize everything, and who am I when I have nothing. Like I have nothing together. My faculties are not agreeing with me. Like I'm not present in my brain. My body is just being and doing. So, but that's kind of freeing. It's like scary, but it's like a gift also to be able to like disappear from yourself.
And just let whatever happen.
It's crazy.
Any new features on the album? What can you tell us about the album production-wise?
You
could share
Travis
something with
Scott,
us.
of
Come
course.
on.
This song is amazing.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
The same people who produced that song made Drew Barrymore in Consideration, made a majority. Like those are three completely different sounds. Love Galore, Drew Barrymore in Consideration, but we made like a body of work. We just kind of created a sound. For the first time, I created a sound with my friends that we just like traveled and found out who we were sonically together, because we definitely were familiar with each other apart, because all of us have worked in different places. Like one of us is from Chicago and did like a lot of stuff with like Vic Mensa, Carter, and like Chance, and like, and now he plays in my band, and then like Ty's from Indianapolis, and originally did all of Isaiah's first stuff and first album, and then like Cody's from Memphis, and he has like a lot of trap influences and loves Future and like Thug, but like it has a really refined taste. It's like, it's weird when we all get together, we just kind of like vibe.
Control debuted at number 3 on the Billboard 200. Every single from the Love Killer to Garden went double platinum or higher, praised as the best album of 2017 by The Time and Vice. It cemented Sza's place in music history. She took her conventional sounds on the road, performing over 50 shows and opening for Branson Tiller across Europe. As of the time you're watching this documentary, Control has spent over 400 weeks on the Billboard 200 and making its longest charting R&B album by a woman. But Control wasn't just an album, it became a heartbreak anthem for entire generation.
Yeah, I know you, babe. Picking up a penny with a pressure is easier than holding you down. Can't be any harder than holding us up now. To come clean, I mean, to be realist, probably true what they say about me. Probably came from my inner circle. Usually come from your inner circle. Lack thereof, I don't know who I can trust. I've been dropping out and I've been hanging out with my high friends, and we too stoned to pay attention. No. Rolling through the highways of my mind.
Now, she became very famous, but the insane fame came with the cost of anxiety.
In terms of like my feelings, like I'm just moody as hell, so it's all a reflection of my moody moods. So I don't know, like when I'm not, like after therapy, I probably won't be able to like make music anymore or something like that. Yeah, so I'm probably start therapy like after this next one.
Some fans were a little bit turned off because SZA didn't take picture with them. But what they didn't see was that she had a reason. Behind the scene, she was likely protecting her peace and dealing with anxiety and simply needing a moment to breathe. On the top of that, her grandmother was hospitalized. Sometimes, the most loving thing an artist can do is to set boundaries.
And then, like, you just get overwhelmed when people come up to you sometimes?
I've never said no to a photo.
Really?
Never.
Wow.
And I think the only time that really affects me is like if I'm sad as fuck. Like, like when my grandma was in the hospital in St. Louis and shit, and like people would walk up to me like at the gas station earlier and be like, "Oh, like what are you doing here?" And I'm like, "Oh yeah, my grandma's like really sick. She's in the hospital. She's on life support." And they'd be like, "Oh, like can I get this picture though?"
Are you
like,
serious?
Yeah, on me.
In August 2017, SZA teamed up with the pop rock band Maroon 5 for the single What Lovers Do, featuring on their Red Pill Blue album. The song became the major hit, peaking at number 9 on the Billboard Hot 110 on the Billboard Hot 100 and marked a milestone as SZA's first top entry in the US, a moment that signaled her rising star beyond just R&B. On October 17, SZA began work in a joint album project with Mark Ronson and Tempe Impala, blending her sound with their unexpected genre-crossing collaboration. Just a month later, she received 5 Grammy nominations, including Best New Artist, and becoming the most nominated female artist at the 2018 Grammy Awards.
I gotta know, what's crazier? When you find out you're nominated for your first ever Grammy, or when you find out that you keep getting nominated and you've got 5?
Definitely all sounds like science fiction.
And she kicked butt.
She really does.
When everybody counted us out.
Though she didn't take home a win that night, the recognition marked a powerful moment, proved that her vocal had undeniably shaken the industry, even if trophy hadn't caught up yet. In January 2018, SZA joined forces with Kendrick Lamar, All Stars. The single led for Marble Black Panther soundtrack. The song blended cinematic orchestration with R&B and hip-hop, showcasing SZA's ethereal vocals against Kendrick Lamar's sharp verses. It was both critical and commercial success, peaking at number 7 on the Billboard Hot 100, her second top 10 hit, earning multiple Grammy nominations as well as Oscar nod for the Best Original Songs.
Would you and Kendrick together consider doing a joint album? Like, we would love to see.
I would love that. I would love that. I think that would be amazing. He's such a genius, and he's part of his genius is like him being so elusive, and so mysterious, and I love it. I don't know what's going on as much as you don't know what's going on.
Really?
Yeah.
Just a few months later, in April, SZA collaborated with Cardi B on the empowering track I Do, featured on Cardi's Grammy-winning debut album, Evasion of Privacy. The song lead heavily into the hip-hop and trap, with SZA delivering a bold and confident hook that stood out alongside Cardi B's fiery verses. Both collaborations proved her versatility, from cinematic R&B to trap-infused themes, and cemented her place as a rising force and across multiple genres. In August 2020, SZA hinted at tension at her label after tweeting, "At this point, you all gotta ask Punch," referring to TDE president, out of frustration over delays. Fans has been waiting since 2019 for her second album, and the silence was taking a toll. But on September 4, 2020, she made a stunning return, with featuring Tyler Doddlesign, a slutty soundtrack produced by Neptune.
My homie Ant Clemens hit me up and he was like, "Pull up to the studio, it's me and Pharrell." And I pulled up, Pharrell had already left by the time I got there. But SZA was in the next room and they wanted me to come in there and we were just bullshitting, talking shit, rock, paper, scissors, all this nonsense. And then all of a sudden I'm like, "Yo, what y'all was working on?" and they pressed play, and it was this crazy beat. And then the words start coming, the melodies start coming. I go in the booth. She follows me in the booth. I'm like, what the fuck?
What you doing here?
But she was like, nah, you got to stand right here. I look down, it's all these crystals on the floor in grid form. I guess she was aligning my chakras. And as soon as she left the room, the hook just came. And then she went right back in after me and killed it. And it was just dope how that came together. I never like made a record with crystals and shit, you know what I'm saying? But it was, you know what I'm saying? That was her vibe. And that was dope to come into that vibe. And like, you know, it came out dope.
Then, on Christmas Day, she dropped Long These Good Days, a dreamy, introspective songs with background vocals from Jacob Collier. It became the first solo top 10 hit on the Billboard Hot 100, even though it wasn't meant to be a singer. Both songs marked an emotional reawakening, proof that even in silence, SZA was quietly crafting magic. On April 2021, SZA joined Doja Cat on the dreamy disco pop hit Kiss Me More, a lead single from Planet Earth. The song became global sensation, hitting number 1 in New Zealand and reaching the top 10 in the multiple countries including US, UK and Australia. It also made history as the longest charting all-female collaboration on the Billboard Hot 100, breaking records held in 1998.
What was it like teaming up with SZA and working on that record? Because you guys are so different, but you complement each other so well on Kiss Me More.
I feel like me and SZA are similar in the way that we're kind of like we both grew up in spiritual kind of with spiritual backgrounds. But I mean, she was perfect for this song. And I feel like I say this every time. She was in my heart when I wrote this, and I needed her to be on the hook, and I needed her to put a verse because she brings like a depth and just a depth to everything that she does. I went in writing the song thinking it was just going to be about kissing and have like silly, goofy metaphors for kissing and things like that. But she took it to a level of like, I need love. Like I need to be loved better. Like I need more love.
Listen, tell me about the connection with SZA. How did you hook that up?
I always loved SZA. I listened to her when I was like I don't even remember, whatever, like 11th grade, 10th grade. I was just always playing her music. I bumped into her at a American Apparel one time, and then hadn't seen her for like 100 years after that. And I was like, this song is just too perfect. Like I can't not have her on this. For her, like it just felt like a good pop track to have her on. And I feel like I wrote it with her in my heart. So it working out the way it did was just a blessing, and super grateful.
Both of them won the Grammy for this song.
Okay, I'm SZA, and I won a Grammy for Kiss Me More with Doja Cat.
Later that year, she lent her voice to the Anonymous One for the Dear Evan Hansen soundtrack, showing a softer and emotional side. In November, she teamed up with Summer Walker on the sluttery No Love, which performed strongly on R&B charts and was re-released in March 2022 with an extended version. Then came I Hate You, a moody, vulnerable track that exploded on TikTok after his SoundCloud drop, leading to an official release in December 2021. After 2022 Grammy, SZA finally confirmed that fans had been waiting for her second studio album was finished and coming soon. And it was clear SZA had fully returned. She wasn't holding back. On June 2022, she dropped Deluxe edition of Control with 7 unreleased tracks to mark its 5-year anniversary. In October, she released Shut with the video staring at Lakeith Stanfield. A fan favorite teased in 2022 and made viral on TikTok. The video ended with a sneak peek of the next track, Blind. On her 33rd birthday, November 8, 2022, SZA released teaser titled PSA on her Instagram. The video ended with Morse code spelling out SOS, sparking speculation about a new project. On 9 December 2022, she released her second studio album, SOS. It took 6 years to come out. It is true that things were messy between TD and Sza, which is a part why it took 6 years, but those weren't the only reasons. This was also a personal moment that made dropping the album at this particular time. SOS released in December 2022 and was influenced by her personal experience, notably the end of a long-term relationship. She was in an 11-year relationship, including 5-year engagement with unnamed fashion designer. This relationship ended around 2017 or 18, deeply affecting her and inspiring many of her songs, such as Nobody Gets Me from SOS.
I'm not sure, but I made this song.
Sza's second album, SOS, blended R&B, rap, rock, pop into the bold genres defining sounds. Alongside hits like Good Days, Shirt, I Hate You, the album delivered standout singles, Nobody Gets Me, Kill Bill, and Snooze. Kill Bill became the first #1 on both Billboard Hot 100 and Global 200, and while Snooze made history as the only song to stay on the Hot 100 for all 2023.
Anyway, so 5 sounds like science fiction, 1 sounds like science fiction. Even like being considered in that, it's just so bizarre. It's like weirder than science. I can't explain it if it makes sense.
A true reflection of her last and impact. SOS spent first 7 weeks at #1 on the Billboard 200 and the longest run for a female album in the decade, and the first R&B album to achieve this since Whitney in 1987.
Her album SOS has spent 10 weeks at #1 on the Billboard Top 200.
The 2024 iHeartRadio Song of the Year is Kill Bill, SZA.
Thank you to my ex-fiance. I wish you the best.
To promote SOS, Sza launched stunning 63 shows world tour from 2023 to 2024, lighting up stages across North America, Europe, and Oceania with the support from artists like Omar Apollo and Ray. This album garnered 9 Grammy nominations.
And the Grammy goes to SOS, SZA.
Apart from its achievement, SOS has amazing story and themes. SOS unfolds like a personal diary, chronicling heartbreak, healing, and self-discovery. The album's opener with the title track, a distress signal wrapped in the sharp lyricism, followed by the Kill Bill, where the revenge meet vulnerability. As it progresses, the tracks like Sneak and Destroy and Low reflect emotional scars and reclaiming of her personal power. Love Language Blinds explore the hearing of connections, and while Use and Snooze dive into the trust, tenderness, and vulnerabilities. Midway, Sza balances playful insecurities, Notice Me, emotional detachments, Gone Girl, and the confident swagger, Smoking on My X-Pack. The introspective, Ghost in the Machine, addresses fame and the disconnections, while F2F, Nobody Gets Me, reveals the genres blending chaos and emotional honesty. As the album's Winsdown Concited brings bold self-assurance, while Spatial Too Late in the Far reveals themes of emotional distance and reflections. The energy picks up with the Shut and the heartfelt Open Arms, leading into the raw power of I Hate You and hopeful introspection of Good Days, and closing with the defined Forgiveless. Sza ends a note of strength and clarity. SOS is more than just a breakup album. It's a masterclass in turning pain into power. This type of story she tells us.
One of the songs we just watched the video for because you released a blooper reel for Kill Bill and like some of the behind the scenes. My question is because I just did like this aerial class and it was painful to be like in those little ropes and swings and stuff. So I was like, how did that feel when you're just hanging by them ropes? Were you able to like, did it hurt at all?
You know what's random? We did a lot of ropes when we shot Doves in the Wind.
Okay.
And that was probably like when they hung me up in the sun and like did all this other stuff. And it is painful. And like the waist groin
yeah
region, that shit sucked. But then, for a tour, we're gonna be on harness too. But that's all I'm gonna say about that. But yeah, it's gonna, so I'm ready for my crotch to just be snatched up again and in deep agonizing pain.
Oh man, yeah, you gotta get some extra padding or something down there. I don't know. That's painful.
Padding in the world, heard me?
For sure.
Bet I'ma break a fresh air for another nigga. You gon' make me take care of another nigga. Who you playing is other things up on my mind than a man is.
She kept making waves outside music too, joining Lizzo on a heartfelt mix special and modeling for Kim Kardashian's Kim in celebration of body positivity, and teaming up with Drake for the emotional #1 Smile You Out. It was a year of bold moves, big stage, and the beautiful vulnerabilities. In 2024, Lana quickly became one of the year's most anticipated albums, with Variety and The Times spotlighting it ahead of release. SZA kicked the things off with Saturn and soulful comic lead single that soared into the top 10. Cosmic lead singer that soared into the top 10 globally, earned her a Grammy win for the best R&B songs. She reunited with Kendrick Lamar on the album GNX and delivering standout vocals on Luther and Gloria. Then, during a surprise Twitch appearance on Kai Cenat's stream, she announced a new album on the way. On December 20, she dropped Lana Deluxe edition of SOS featuring BMF 3430 and Kendrick Lamar and the dreamy promo singer Drive. It was another chapter in SZA's ever-evolving story.
I think I'm making music from a more beautiful place, from a more possible place versus a more angsty place. She says, I'm not identifying with my brokenness. It's not my identity. It's shit that happened to me. Yeah, I experienced cruelty, but I have to put it down at some point. Pieces by pieces, my music is shifting. Because of that, I'm getting lighter.
SZA's SOS Deluxe. Lana is a poetic extension of Grammy winning SOS. The chaos of heartbreak is met with clarity, boundaries, and emotional evolutions. Named after nicknames SOS, Lana, short of Solana, Lana drives a deep into what is meant to grow through relationship, and not just romantic one, but one with herself. The story begins with No More Hiding, a gentle awakening where the SZA shed a past version of herself. In What Do I Do, she catches her partner cheating, but rather than crumbling, she confronts a betrayal with poise. 3430 with Kendrick Lamar reinforces the maturity, trading, and the pettiness of self-respect. Throughout tracks like Diamond Boy, DMT, and Love Me For Me, SZA cautioned devotion, self-worth, and the version of herself that seek validation from others. There are moments of lightness too. BMF and Get Behind Me, playful, bold, and dripping with confidence, and showcasing SZA's unfeared to flirt, dance, and set boundaries. But she's not all those can. In songs like Cry Baby, Chill Boy, and Another Life, she embraced softness, regret, and the pain of missed timing with a new emotional depth. The album closes with Saturn, an ethereal escape where she dreams of peace and untouched by the earth chaos. If SOS was a storm, Lana was a clear sky after. Not because everything is perfect, but because Sza has finally found peace in her imperfection. Even her parents, who were hesitant in the beginning, started fully support her, seeing how far she had come.
Every time I hear the song Blind, it brings tears to my eyes. Whatever she puts her mind to, she succeeds at it. Early on I saw that, but I had no idea it would get to this point, or at this level. At this capacity, in this magnitude, it surprised all of us.
It was almost like seeing her for the first time. Because I had seen her and my husband, we had seen her in a different light. And to see her be who she wanted to be, it was like, okay, I get it now. It was amazing. It was amazing.
I wasn't surprised.
Hi, Dad.
I always knew she had it in her. Always did. She had it in her from day one. She always had talent. She always had class. She always had skills. She was always her own person, and I respected that.
In 2025, Sza stepped into the new territory, making her acting debut in One of Them Days, produced with the Icy Ray and the co-starring with Xikey N. Critique praised her natural screen presence and heartfelt chemistry with the Plemo. The same year, Sza was joyful dubbed with an honorary Muppet by the Elmo and the Same Street, showing off her the playful side. She re-released Lana in February with the 4 new tracks, including fan favorite PSA and a solo version of Open Arms. That day, she also lit up with the Super Bowl halftime show alongside Kendrick Lamar. The performance sent a song like 30 for 30 and Luther soaring on the charts and later becoming the Sza third #1 on the Hot 100. From a girl navigating from the confusion of her identity to a Grammy-winning artist whose voice echoes across generations, Sza had done more than just singing. She has spoken truth into the heart of millions. Through heartbreaks, healing, and doubt and discovery, Solana Emaniro taught us that vulnerability isn't weakness, it's strength. She didn't follow the rules, she broke them. She didn't fit the mold, she created her own space. And by doing so, she gave others permission to do the same. For me personally, she's one of the greatest artists of all time. Not for headlines or the dating drama, but for the music alone. From being unsupported in the beginning and quitting sport where she great at, and sometimes even skipping meals to save for the studio time, Sza pushed through it all, and now she stands as one of the most respected artists of her generation. From artists who credit her for shaping their sounds, to fans who say her music saved their lives, Sza's legacy is one of honesty, healing, and hope. She reminds us that it's okay to not have it all figured out. The growth is messy, and that feeling matters.
I just want to say, like, I don't really know how to put into words, like, how I feel. This is really dope. Y'all don't really know where I come from and what I come from, like in terms of life or just going through shit and being judged and just everything. Like, it's a lot. And it's so amazing to feel like positive energy and like good vibes in this room. And I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Do whatever, make it feel good. Hesitate, make it feel good. For the meantime, drag it out for the longest. Waiting on you for the longest. I don't know, it's the hold up. Thinking you can never show up. Do whatever just to feel good. Left over, make it feel good.